the last order of the day, that's the seventh. The seventh order of the day is a motion standing in the name of distinguished Senator Gershom Bassey and 5 others on the urgent need to adopt value addition and domestication strategies to ensure real and sustainable economic growth. Mr. President, we wish to invite distinguished Senator Bassey Gershom to move the motion. Cross River South. The motion is on the urgent need to adopt value addition and domestication strategies to ensure real and sustainable economic growth in Nigeria. The Senate notes that Nigeria is Africa's largest economy with an estimated nominal GDP of $448 billion. However, Nigeria's dependence on oil exports has hindered product diversification and export growth in the nation's economic activities. This has consequently constrained the nation's revenue-generating sources as well as stunted economic development. The Senate is worried that Nigeria has not successfully implemented a long-term vertical and horizontal diversification strategy to propel it away from its commodity-dependent economy. Dependence on oil revenue, which accounts for over 90% of total foreign exchange earnings, has left our economy extremely susceptible to volatile commodity price fluctuations and suffering economic and human capital development. The international poverty line, according to the World Bank, is $1.90 per day. However, over 83 million Nigerians live below this threshold, and the drastic and unforgiving socio-economic impact of COVID-19 has compounded the situation. The Senate is further worried that an additional 10 million citizens may be forced into a life below the poverty line by 2022, constraining the government's stated goal of lifting 100 million Nigerians out of poverty by 2030. Rapidly developing countries like Guyana, Ethiopia, Rwanda had an average GDP growth rate of 8.95, 8.88, and 7.06 respectively between 2011 and 2020. Yet Nigeria is projected to struggle to achieve an economic growth rate of 2% per annum between now and 2050. The Senate further notes that the recent agitations across our nation have brought the deep-rooted dissatisfaction and suffering of many Nigerians into focus. It is imperative now more than ever that the Nigerian government seeks out an effective approach to mitigate the adverse effects of Nigeria's commodity dependence. Through a comprehensive and realistic product diversification strategy, Nigeria may secure sustainable revenue generation, boost economic recovery, reduce poverty rates, and create job opportunities for Nigerians. Producing essential products and adding value to existing commodity-level sectors such as oil and gas, cocoa, rubber, and groundnut for both internal consumption and export is vital in increasing the global market prices and value of these products to our country. Now, the Senate is aware that the economic revival of Nigeria's economy can also be facilitated by relevant fiscal and industry reforms through legislation and policies. For example, the immediate enactment of a comprehensive, well-considered petroleum industry bill with the relevant institutions and stakeholders buy-in, coupled with the proper implementation of our local content laws, could finally ensure diversification that harnesses the full value chain potential of the oil and gas industry. This is applicable to other crucial industries such as energy, agriculture, mining, and technology. The Senate is further aware that horizontal diversification alone may not effectively advance Nigeria's economy away from commodity dependency. The long-run implementation of fiscal policies and developmental strategies that provide incentives for product diversification and value addition, as well as support of the domestication of the supply value chain of all industries, beyond exporting raw materials would boost economic expansion, national GDP, and the standard of living of all Nigerians. The Senate observes that Malaysia, a previous mono economy, has successfully transitioned from an economy that was initially commodity dependent to a leading exporter of high-valued electrical appliances, parts, and components, amongst others. Due to business-friendly government policies and several Malaysian economic development plans, the country's trade-to-GDP ratio has remained consistently high, averaging over 130% since 2010, as they are overachieving. This shows the significance of international trade in the country's economy, measured as a share of its GDP, and has contributed to Malaysia's consistent GDP per capita growth from $9,040 in 2010 to $11,400 in 2019. Disturbed that, in contrast, Nigeria's GDP per capita growth has remained low, fluctuating between $2,900 US dollars and $3,250 US dollars. It illustrates the poor growth rate of income per head and economic development in Nigeria. Therefore, to truly boost the economy, Nigeria must focus on strategic diversification and domestication of high-valued activities within the sectors that drive our economy. The Senate is certain that Nigerian government should re-evaluate its laws and policies to ensure that the government articulates realistic, innovative, and sustainable diversification strategies through the provision of attractive fiscal incentives, improved infrastructure, and sound education. This will seek to ensure that international quality and technical minimum standards are met to attract foreign investment and participation. It will also provide an enabling business environment and access to high-value local content to leverage our highly entrepreneurial, increasingly tech-savvy, and rapidly growing young population. The Senate is convinced that the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary could commit to short, medium, and long-term evidence-based economic expansion in existing and emerging sectors, with value addition at the heart of legislation and policy implementation. With that in mind, fiscal and developmental policies, as well as the adoption of technology and innovation across systems, should be prioritized to propel the nation towards the fourth industrial revolution and true economic growth. Accordingly, the Senate resolves to 1. Mandate the Committees on National Planning and Economic Affairs, Senate Committee on Trade and Investment, to A. Conduct an urgent review of previous economic plans to ascertain why these plans, policies, and legislation may have fallen short of ensuring real and sustained economic growth. B. Engage relevant industry experts to investigate the current challenges to optimum production and value addition in the relevant sectors. And C. Articulate a framework for an evidence-based and implementable roadmap to achieve value-added diversification and sustainable economic growth through future economic plans and subsequent budgetary considerations. I so move.
Senate Deputy Leader.